I'm Brooke Stuntebeck, an attorney at Triangle Smart Divorce in Cary, North Carolina. Even though every divorce is going to follow a different timeline dependent on the situation, there are 4 usual stages every divorce goes through to become final. Each of these 4 stages has a minimum amount of time they can take, so we can give you an idea of the minimum amount of time you have to wait to be divorced in North Carolina. Let's start with the first step in the process: physical separation. One of the most unique, and some people would say irritating, aspects of a North Carolina divorce is the requirement for a year's separation before filing for divorce. This waiting period is much longer than most other states, and there is no way around it if you want a North Carolina divorce. So what qualifies as a physical separation? We have an entire video just on this topic, but to sum it up, you have to have 2 separate addresses. Once you make it through the year waiting period, you can move on to the second step, which is filing. You cannot file for divorce until 1 year and a day from your date of separation. The filing must be done in either your county of residence or your soon-to-be ex's county of residence. The filing consists of a complaint and a summons. A complaint is a lawsuit against your spouse and serves to start the divorce process. The complaint must be verified, which means you are swearing everything in it is true to the best of your knowledge. A summons goes with the complaint and lets your spouse know that they have 30 days to respond to the divorce complaint. The third step is the process of service. The summons needs to be served to your soon-to-be ex. The service of summons is required to be done within 60 days of filing. If it is not done in 60 days, you have to go back and get the summons extended. Once your spouse has been served, they have 30 days to respond to the complaint. All in all, this adds about 90 days to the process, and that is if everything is done correctly. It could be longer if something is incorrectly filled out, filed wrong, or you cannot find your spouse to serve them. The hearing is the 4th step in the divorce process. A judge will review the file and may take testimony. If there is no dispute about whether you have been separated for more than a year, the judge will grant your divorce. In the past, it took about 2 weeks from the time of requesting a hearing date to having the divorce hearing, but now it's taking about a month, mostly due to the court's backlog and limited resources. At the hearing, if your divorce is granted by the judge, the clerk of court sends a certificate of divorce to Vital Records, which just means that your divorce date is in the public record, just like your date of birth and your date of marriage. So, if there are no issues with the divorce filing, service, or notice of hearing, it takes a little less than a year and a half to get a divorce in North Carolina. We did not discuss what happens if you have a more complicated situation and cannot get everything resolved during your year of separation. This situation comes up because North Carolina is pretty unique and treats divorce as a separate thing from support, property, and custody issues, and because North Carolina allows you to keep these issues out of court. In other states, you normally have to submit the proposed resolution of the issues to the court before a divorce is allowed, or have the hearings and trials resolving these issues before the divorce is granted. But in North Carolina, you can have a private agreement and keep the details of your settlement out of court. Most of the time, we recommend that you get a separation agreement, a property settlement, custody agreement, and everything else worked out in a private contract before you file for divorce. In some instances, failure to reach an agreement makes the timeline longer because you may choose to delay filing for divorce until the court handles your outstanding issues. Besides making the divorce process smoother and quicker, another reason we want our clients to have everything settled before filing is because once a divorce reaches the 4th step and is final, you cannot assert claims for equitable distribution or spousal support. Those have to be filed before the divorce is granted, or you forever lose your right to them. Listen, we understand that when you are ready to get divorced, no one wants to wait at least a year and a half, but we have to follow North Carolina law. The best thing you can do to speed up your case is to hire an experienced divorce attorney who understands the system and wants to help you settle as much as possible outside of court. Mistakes and litigation are really where extra and sometimes unnecessary time is added to the divorce process. Give us a call if you are ready to get started. The sooner you get started, the sooner you can move on to the next stage of your life.